Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Evil West. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zero. Well, let's get to it. So today we're fighting bosses and talking about it. But before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So, Evil West is... I think it was a little bit of a sleeper when it came out, and now that it's been a little bit of time, you may have had an opportunity to try it out. It has a decent number of weapons that you don't necessarily start off with, but you get on the regular. Additionally, you have perks and upgrades that can help improve your overall DPS, performance, longevity, sustainability when you're doing battles. But more importantly, or just as importantly, are the boss battles. Even these enemies that are not necessarily bosses but are set up like a boss battle, they're well done. Like, even regardless of your skill, regardless of the difficulty that you've put the game on, I think you can feel like it is a difficult task in order to take some of these guys out. And once you start playing on the more difficult levels, it is even more of a challenge to do so. First playthrough, of course, you're just trying to figure it all out. What works, what doesn't work, what works with what enemies, etc. And then compounding that, you have other things that come into play as you go along. So all of a sudden, this relatively basic enemy becomes more dangerous because of something else that's happening within your arena or within your story. So as the perks and the upgrades come in, all of a sudden you can start leaning into your favorite perks, your favorite play style, the way that you play, making you a more proficient and dangerous vampire hunter than what you were at the beginning of the story. So you've got that power story, you've got that power struggle, which is great. It's great fun. Not only are you enjoying the cinematics, the story, but you're also enjoying your own personal power story within the game. So I really like that. I really enjoy that they put diversity in there, and then of course that you can choose your own playstyle. And if you decide sometime down the road that, oh, you know what, I thought I was going to do it this way, but it doesn't work out very well, you can change it. You can reset your perks and your upgrades and then distribute them the way that you want, or just to try something else out, which is great. So playing more official boss battles, like the one that you see here, are layered and I would say more nuanced than regular battles, certainly, but also they have their own rhythm or style to them that you can kind of feel like each boss is different, and approaching them certainly with your play style, but then you have to be aware that each boss is different, each boss arena is different, and the minions that each boss has are likely to be different as well. And sometimes these little mini bosses that you've seen solo previously all of a sudden are teaming up, and maybe it was not a big deal fighting one of the mini bosses, but then fighting 2 mini bosses or 3 mini bosses all of a sudden becomes a bit more challenging, because the skills that one of them has may not be a particular problem, but then stacking those skills with a second mini boss or a third mini boss, all of a sudden everything starts to get very, very complicated. So I think the developers did a good job where you could still play with your playstyle. Like, there's not a meta, like you have to have this perk, or you don't have to have this perk, or you can't have this perk because it'll screw everything up, or the like. To, you can play however you want. There are certainly going to be perks or upgrades that you find, or that many people find to be important, and you'll want to have. So in that aspect, I would say, maybe there are perks that are more meta than others, but I think you're going to figure that out pretty quickly. I don't think it's nuanced where it's like, oh, nobody uses the crossbow because it doesn't do as much damage as the gun, or vice versa. So if you want to use a crossbow, use a crossbow. If you want to use the rifle, use the rifle. If you want to use the flamethrower, do it. The variety of guns is certainly nice, and the way that they balance having the different guns is also very nice. So if you've not checked it out, maybe give it a try. If you have a PlayStation Plus subscription, you can download it for free now for the month of January and check it out. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for the hand, but I had it under control.
Can tell.
I found the plan. The locals call it La Orchid de la Vida or something foreign like that. We get this back to Calico, squeeze it out, and maybe we have ourselves a way to turn this around.
I'm sorry I got you into this.
Getting your ass out of the fire has kind of become a habit.
Edgar, you can't keep doing this forever.
When those ticks attacked the manor, what did your father do? Run? Nah. He kept on squeezing the trigger. That's what he did. People like us don't retire, Jesse. Even if you're lucky enough to live long enough, you'll soon realize there's nothing waiting for you. There is no normal for people like me or your father. And I was naive to think there might be some normal for you. Anyway, now that just about everyone else in the Institute is dead, I figure you and your daddy are gonna need all the help you can get to build things back up again.
Well, first you give me those pretty flowers, then you get all emotional on me. Edgar, you ain't gonna try to kiss me now, are you?
You little shit.
PlayStation